Next up on the Daily, Portland's losing streak still resonating, Houston's midfield woes, and Clint Dempsey does it again. Welcome to the Daily for Tuesday, April 10th with Andrew Wiebe. I'm Jason Seguini. Portland Timbers have a 3-game losing streak, not just 3 games in a row that they've lost, Andrew, but how they've lost the last 2 losing leads. It's not going well. We actually had Jack Dewsbury on Extra Time Radio yesterday to talk about what's going on in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, all the usual early season cliches coming out of Portland right now. You know, we've got to be patient. We want to get back on the field. I think, as Jack said, they'd get back on Wednesday if they could, but of course they'll have to wait. LA Galaxy this weekend awaiting them at the Home Depot Center. And then, you know, Sporting KC the next week. It doesn't get any easier to jump out of this slump for them. I think the real problem, like you said, is the way that they're losing. That's 2 straight at home where they've had a lead and they've relinquished it. Obviously, Chivas USA hurts Ryan Smith with 2 crosses that really cut them open. Maybe even more painful, though, was that RSL loss. Had a nice lead, and all of a sudden RSL comes storming back in the late going. But Lavelle Palmer took a lot of the heat for that Chivas thing, and they've got another guy in the fold right now.
Yeah, it's Brett Evans coming in on trial. He's played in South Africa. He's been capped by the South African national team 8 times, played over 200 games for Ajax Cape Town. So we'll see if he comes in, and he's a player that Portland wants to keep on their roster after this trial period. And interestingly, they actually have a reserve league game, a big reserve league game tonight against the Seattle Sounders. We'll see if he gets any time in that game. It's a big reserve league game, Andrew, as Kansas City plays Chicago today and Dallas also playing Houston. So some rivalries in the reserve league. You can check out MLSsoccer.com later today for the results. Well, I mentioned the Houston Dynamo playing a reserve league game today. It could be a very important one for them as they are going to be without Adam Moffett and Colin Clark due to suspension in their next game at Chicago on Sunday. So they might want to get these players playing together because Brad Davis now might also be out. This could be almost a completely new midfield for Houston on Sunday.
Yeah, word out of Houston on Monday was that Davis missed practice for an MRI on his calf. So there's still no results back on that one, still early. We don't know yet what the extent of the injury is, but if that damage is significant, that's going to be a huge blow for their efforts to create against the Chicago Fire team kind of coming to their own and who did not play last weekend either. But in the short term, Corey Ash probably would move up to left midfield for Davis, the spot that he would occupy, or Colin Clark, who, as you said, is suspended. Javon Watson, probably the only normal starter. Then you've probably got Camargo in there, and as well as Nathan Sturgis. So a little bit of a change-up for them and one that they'll have to deal with and maybe rehearse today in this reserve game.
Well, on Monday, it was another game, another goal for Clint Dempsey. After 2 goals over the weekend, he scores a huge one against Chelsea. This one to tie it up at 1, get the point for Fulham.
Yeah, that's just what happens these days when you leave Dempsey unmarked in the box, and that's what Chelsea did on a corner kick late on. All of a sudden, the ball's in the back post, and Dempsey's celebrating for the 22nd time this year in all competitions. He's got 16 goals in the Premier League, and the incredible stat with him at this point over the past 2 seasons in EPL play, he's got the 3rd most goals in the league behind only Robin van Persie and Wayne Rooney. So things are going about as well as they can go for Clint Dempsey, and he'll have to hope they keep going better.
All right, well, another American that you can check out today is Michael Bradley. He had a goal over the weekend for Chievo, and today Chievo hosts AC Milan. So a huge game for Bradley. Hopefully he can keep that momentum going as well. Want to mention a couple of things to check out on the site today. The Power 5 this week is counting down the top assist men in MLS, and number 4 today is a guy you know plenty about.
Yeah, Graham Zusi, and no surprise, he's at the top of the assist board. So a banner season to start for him. It helps that everything's kind of coming into effect with that Sporting Kansas City pressure system. Guys know their jobs. They've been doing it for a year, and all of a sudden Zusi's reaping the benefits. On that same note, power rankings come out today, and I don't think anybody will be surprised by who the top team is. Same as last week, Graham Zusi, Sporting Kansas City.
All right, well, Andrew, we'd be giving things away on the Daily. That's all we have for the Daily today. We will be back on Wednesday with plenty more.